เฮ้ย sorry admit ลืมบอกไปนะครับโอเคเป็นไงบ้างได้เขียนไหมวันนี้
ฮัลโหลครับฮัลโหลครับ
ฮัลโหลได้ยินปะ
ได้ยินครับได้ยินครับ
โอเค that's it เป็นไง
ผม
บ้าง
ลงไว้ในเรดาร์2เหมือนเดิมครับ
โอเคเดี๋ยวไอดูให้
ครับเดี๋ยวมาเนี่ยนะครับ
ได้ครับนี่ไงมาแล้ว
โอเคครับกลับมาแล้ว
Okay
กลับมาแล้ว
เป็นไงบ้าง Nowadays many people choose to be self-employed rather than to work for a company or organization ขอไอเดียหน่อยครับ
อันนี้ใช่ไหมครับ
อืม
อันนี้เหมือนเกี่ยวกับเหมือนว่าผมจะพูดถึงว่าเคสนี้ก็เกิดขึ้นที่แบบว่าคนอยากจะทำธุรกิจของตัวเองครับที่แบบไม่ได้ไปสมัครบริษัทงานนู่นนี่อะไรประมาณเนี้ยเหมือนว่าบอกว่ามันมีความมีอิสระในไลฟ์สไตล์มากกว่าครับมีเวลามากขึ้นมีการตัดสินใจในชีวิตอะไรมากขึ้นนะครับประมาณนั้นครับแล้วก็เงินเดือนก็จะสูงกว่าครับเพราะว่าถ้าสมมติเราไม่ได้เป็นซีอีโอครับเราเป็นลูกน้องลูกจ้างเขาเงินมันจะน้อยกว่าประมาณนั้นครับแล้วก็ข้อเสียก็คือแบบว่าอาจจะต้องเป็นเชื่อหรือว่าเสี่ยงในการลงทุนธุรกิจอะไรต่างๆแล้วก็บอกว่าด้วยความที่มันยากลำบากครับ แล้วก็มุมมองพวกนี้มันทำให้คนแบบว่าไม่อยากที่จะเสี่ยงครับคือแบบว่าคนก็จะกลับไปเป็นemployeeเหมือนเดิมครับก็คือไม่กล้าที่จะลงทุนไม่กล้าที่จะเสี่ยงเพราะว่ากลัวที่จะบอกว่าต้องบริหารหลายๆอย่างครับ ยิ่งใหญ่ต้องล้มเหลวอะไรต้องเยอะตั้งแยะครับ
เราเชียร์ไปทางไหนอ่ะ
ผมพูดถึงสาเหตุที่คนอยากจะเซลฟ์ employ ครับ
อืม
แล้วก็ข้อเสียของมันนะครับ
อือฮึตามนั้นนะครับ alright ประมาณนี้โอเคลองไล่เช็คนะครับไอเดียไม่น่ามีปัญหามั้งข้ามไปเลยไอเดียนะครับ Apparently self-employment is currently becoming a popular trend for a large number of employees rather than seeking regular jobs. This essay will clarify the details of the possible reason and its downside. อืมได้เนาะได้ไหมลองคอมเมนต์ตัวเองสิเขาเปลี่ยนเป็น Arial ดีกว่าไปกว่าไอก็คิดว่าน่าจะเวิร์กอยู่แหละนะครับก็สั้นดีนะครับ ถ้ามองประเมินตามlet's say ว่าเป็นคอนเซ็ปต์ก็คือ concise ถูกไหม concise and precise นะครับแล้วก็ thesis statement เป็นไง ก็ดู acceptable ถูกไหมครับ is acceptable ได้ครับ grammar เราเป็นไงบ้าง grammar and range ก็คือ it's okay right it's fine yep and then range of vocabulary เป็นไงฮะก็น่าจะได้อยู่นะครับจริงๆแล้วเนี่ยอันนี้ตรวจละเอียดขนาดนี้เลยแต่ความจริงแล้วมันต้องดูภาพรวมทั้งหมดอีกทีหนึ่งนะครับ okay good I hope you guys understanding yeah ไปครับ move ต่อนะ the factor can be underlying แป๊บหนึ่งนะครับสักครู่นะมาละทีนี้ the factor can be the underlying causes of the situation firstly two factors Firstly, searching for a well-paid employment may be difficult for them. For most people working in a company, except having high-ranked authorities in a particular career. In Thailand, the rate of earning high salaries for every career field is relatively low. This leads to struggling of domestic population, encountering poverty due to the imbalance between their financial status and prices for product. อันนี้แปลว่าอะไรครับ Secondly, lifestyles can be changed, limiting their time spent with necessary errands of their family and friends. Night shift workers or even white-collar workers are often scheduled to stay at the workplace, stay up late, at different time. Therefore, this affects their time management because of erratic schedule. ขออนุญาตเปลี่ยนฟอนต์นะครับไม่ใช่ไอต้องการ Arial แค่ลองเช็คใหม่นะครับ factor ตัวนี้ได้นะครับแต่ว่าสมมุติyouพูดอย่างนี้ไอเพิ่มนิดนึงแล้วกันนะ two main factor ได้ปะ two main factor แต่ถ้าเกิดว่า two main factor พวกนี้เนี่ยมันก็ต้องพูดเป็น settle เป็น there is there are แทนนะมันจะดูภาษาลึกกว่าถูกไหมฮะไม่งั้นก็ต้องเป็นแบบ consist of หรือว่า composed of พวกนั้นไปเลยตัวนี้ดีนะครับปั๊บจนถึงอันนี้คือไอเดียแรกผ่านครับแล้วก็ปิดด้วย concluding sentence ก็ easy to understand นะเรามาถูกทางแล้วแต่ตัวนี้พี่อยากเปลี่ยนเป็น word อะไรเดียว imbalance between their financial status and นะครับ costly ได้ไหมแพงใช่ไหมcostly price of อะไรอะ essential อย่างเงี้ยเหรอ product in daily life is that right ผ่านครับปรับนิดหน่อยนะครับ secondly lifestyle can be changed limiting their time to spend with necessary errand their families and friends family and friends night shift ต้องเขียนเพิ่ม to be clarified ถูกไหมเหมือนจะนะหรือว่า to illustrate พวกนี้เพิ่มขึ้นมาหน่อยนะครับให้มันชัดขึ้นเพราะฉะนั้นตัวนี้ไม่มี capital shift work or even white collaborator often scheduled to stay at the workplace at different time night shift different night shift นี่ถือว่าเป็น workload เนาะเดี๋ยวขอเช็คไอเดียก่อนได้ไหมตัวนี้ได้แหละแต่ to be clarified not เกิดสัมพันธ์กันหรือเปล่าต้องเช็ค often common schedule therefore this affect their time management because of erratic schedule so they want to prevent from it right leading to the demand of creating their own job or even running their own business นี่น่าจะฮิตกว่าถูกไหมจบอันนี้เพิ่มให้นะครับเพิ่มได้ไหมดูเงียบๆทำไม
ลืมเปิดไมค์ครับผมพูดตั้งนานไม่ปิดอยู่ครับ
โอเค that's it นะครับ แป๊บหนึ่งนะครับ ติวเตอร์ก็ยุ่งมสวอยากไปมเฉยถ้าเป็นผมอยากไปมหาลัยไหม that's it นะครับ alright เมื่อกี้ด่าเพื่อนด่าเพื่อนด้วยเราเล่นนะครับต้องพยายามทำตัวดีๆหลังๆโอเคพี่เพิ่มให้นิดๆหน่อยๆนะฮะเล่นกับไอเดียซึ่งภาษาก็ถือว่าเทียบเคียง7.5ได้แล้วไม่มีปัญหาละแฮปปี้นะครับโอเค clarity and then ขออนุญาตนะฮะไอชอบฟอนต์นี้มากกว่า However, the drawbacks of running your own business still exist. ตัวนี้ still exist
อะไรนะครับ
ฮัลโหล
เมื่อกี้ผมแปลน้ำครับ
อ๋อโอเคไม่พี่ถามว่าสมมติว่าเราเรียนมหาลัยเราอยากไปมหาลัยไหมช่วงนี้
ไม่อยากไปเรียนที่ไหนครับครับ
ไม่อยากไปที่ไหนใดๆทั้งสิ้นถูกไหมครับ
ครับ
That's the way we do งั้นเราเปลี่ยน schedule เป็นเรียน6 โมงอยู่ไหวไหมไอ้ขี้เกียจ stand by 5 โมงเพราะว่า
ได้ครับ
4 โมงครึ่งเนาะเลทดีกว่านะจะได้กินข้าวมาก่อนนะครับ That's it commonly however แล้วก็ commonly ตัวนี้เปลี่ยนได้ไหมขออนุญาตเปลี่ยนครับไอคิดว่าน่าจะเป็นdrawback of business their own businesses right may ต้องเป็น may be affecting factors of insecurity and uncertainty เหมือนพูดถึงตัวเองยังไงครับไม่รู้ ตัวนี้ใช่ไหมประมาณนี้นะครับ alright แต่ still exist ได้ครับแต่ว่าอันนี้พี่ปรับให้มันดู sound แบบ business ไปเลยแล้วกันนะครับ commonly people ventures can be the great barrier which hinder unprofessional entrepreneur unprofessional น่าจะได้แหละalthough this positive outcome of investment is gaining profit deem is gaining profit เปลี่ยนได้ไหมเป็น word แรงๆนิดนึงนะ deem is deem ก็ได้ครับ is deem นะลองเล่นกับคำศัพท์พวกนี้ deem to gain a tremendous profit ขยายไปนิดนึงได้ไหม tremendous profit นะครับก็ดู hit you it depends on the executive ability and experience the executive ตัวนี้ขอปรับนะครับเป็นใช้พวก noun clause ได้ how well นะฮะ the executive can lead ได้ไหม can lead and create an opportunity to be successful ได้ไหมฮะต้องเขียนให้มันเคลียร์คัทลักษณะนี้คิดว่านะอันนี้น่าจะปรับนิดๆหน่อยๆครับเพราะว่ารู้สึกว่าตัวนี้มันก็ได้แหละเพียงแต่ว่าถ้าจะบอกว่ามันทำไมเขาถึงได้ทำเนี่ยมันน่าจะส่งนี้มากกว่าCEO ครับผมมาครับ CEO ต่อเล่นกับ CEO นิดนึง The CEO of KFC underwent นะครับลองดู several difficulty in life and experienced countless failures in his own business. Failures meaning that people who desire to become successful person in self-employment should sacrifice themselves. That people who should sacrifice themselves with learning about this มันต้องจบแล้วเนี่ยเดี๋ยวนะแป๊บหนึ่งรันซอนไหมเนี่ยเดี๋ยวขอเช็ค1 that จบ full stop ก่อน10ฮะขออนุญาตจบนะครับได้ไหมไม่งั้นมันยาวไป design shoot massive shoot ตามด้วย verb จบไปเลย clear cut นะครับแล้วก็เปิดใหม่ได้ลองดูไม่งั้นยูจะมีปัญหาถ้าเกิดเขียนอย่างเงี้ยเนี่ยมันดูเหมือนจะยากแต่เอาจริงๆแล้วมัน inaccuracy นะฮะข้อนี้ปรับใหม่เป็น through เนาะก็จะได้โครงสร้างใหม่นะครับ through learning on how to prevent ได้ไหม from several failure ใช่ปะมาไหนปะit is possibleแป๊บหนึ่งนะฮะขอเช็คก่อน on how to ลองไล่เช็คลักษณะนี้2 possible about this as it is important spelling โห spelling หนักเหมือนกันนะเนี่ย about to possible to do to consider what makes successful what make contribution ได้ไหม contribution น่าจะได้อยู่มั้ง contribution which can lead to a success a company success ก็ได้let's say นะครับคิดว่านะมันก็จะได้ไอเดียใหม่ไปเลยนะครับตัดอาจจะต้องตัดตัวนี้ทิ้งได้ไหมmake a contribution ไม่เป็นไรเนาะแต่ได้อยู่แหละแต่ว่าต้องเขียนสั้นๆนะไม่งั้นมันจะมีปัญหาเรื่อง run on หมายความว่าเขียนเยอะจนแยกไม่ออกว่าตัวไหนเป็นตัวจริงอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะครับโอเคนะประมาณนี้ปรับนิดหน่อยๆนะครับไม่ worry นะ to be very disappointed ทำไมเขียนเดี๋ยว I'm so sorry to be very disappointed this perspective puts lots of pressures on most people because it takes consistency patience อันนี้ดีนะครับ it takes อันนี้ดีมีความเป็น fitness center อยู่ therefore this deters from taking action อันนี้ไม่ค่อย clear cut นะครับ therefore ขออนุญาตปรับนิดนึง this deterred them from taking actions พี่กำลังจะปรับอยู่ให้มันดู sound แบบ clarity กับharmonious นะครับ perspective แต่ว่าtopic นี้น่าสนใจมากนี่ครับอาจจะเจอในข้อสอบก็ได้ in most worst case ได้ไหมฮะ worst cases or scenario อย่างนี้ดีกว่านะครับปรับให้นะ therefore หมายถึงว่า deter from therefore it might เพราะว่ามันเป็น possibility ใช่ไหมฮะ it might be leading to นะฮะ lack of นะครับ strong commitment ใช่ไหม like a strong commitment or explicit taking action นะครับเอาสิเอาให้ explicitly taking action ดูทรงแล้วเหมือนจะต้องเป็น explicitly นะครับอันนี้น่าจะ strong นะไม่ใช่ string โอเค that's it อันนี้ไอปรับให้ประมาณนี้นะครับแต่ก็ได้แหละ meaning เหมือนกันเพียงแต่ว่าปรับ wording ให้มันดู sound แบบ academic หน่อยหนึ่งนะครับแต่ไม่ได้ผิดนะครับ better version เฉยๆนะ sit in conclusion ใจเย็นๆ people decide คำว่า decide ตัวนี้เนี่ยมันจะตกอยู่ใน2 tense คือ have decided กับ decided นะครับส่วนใหญ่แล้วกันเท่าที่อ่านนะเพราะฉะนั้นอยู่อาจต้องเช็คดีๆ have decided กับ decided หรือ may ใช้พวก may might ได้เลยนะครับlet's say ว่า may decide ก็ได้ may decide นะครับ may make ก็ได้เหมือนกัน decision making อย่างเงี้ยนะครับ to run their own businesses business ต้องเป็น plural form เพราะเราพูดถึง their นะครับ because of autonomous decision making autonomous ตัวนี้แปลว่าหมายถึงว่า independent นะใช่ปะ
ใช่ครับ
autonomous decision making for arranging their lifestyle ตัวนี้ต้องปรับใหม่นิดนึงขออนุญาตนะครับ on นะครับ surfing their own satisfaction and expectation อยู่ใช้อย่างนี้ดีกว่าเพราะมันจะดึง parallel ได้นะครับเติม s ให้เลยtheir own satisfaction เติม s ได้ไหมน่าจะได้นะครับอันนี้เขียนใหม่เป็นประมาณนี้นะแต่จริงๆตัวนี้มันถามว่า work ไหมมันก็ work อยู่แหละแต่เพียงแต่ว่าพี่คิดว่ามันจะทำให้ก็ได้แหละตัวเดียวกันนะครับ escaping poverty ไม่เชิงเพราะบางคนก็ เอาเป็นว่า serve expectation เลยกันเพราะหลายๆครั้งที่ทำธุรกิจก็อาจจะ poverty มากกว่าเดิมก็ได้นะครับ alright sorry nevertheless it drawbacks it downside can discourage most people to take action due to hard working due to they might might นะครับ less likely perform นะได้ไหมperform dare ได้ไหม perform themselves ไปเลยนะฮะ themselves with the level of นะครับ the level of hard working times บลาบลาบลาอะไรไปนะครับคิดว่าน่าจะเขียนทรงนี้ดีกว่านะครับประมาณนี้นะครับพี่คิดว่า overall band น่าจะอยู่ที่ประมาณ7ถึง 7.5 มั้ง let's say play safe 7นะประมาณนั้นนะครับเคลียร์เนาะไม่มีปัญหาละเรื่องนี้เปลี่ยนฟอนต์เป็นสีน้ำเงินดีกว่านั้นแสบตาโอเค that's it นะ alright clear สำหรับวันนี้ก็ลองไปฝึกทำดูก่อนได้นะครับเดี๋ยววันนี้เนี่ยเราจะมานั่ง discuss เดี๋ยวพี่ขอเบรกก่อนนิดหนึ่งนะครับแล้วก็ให้อยู่ดูรีวิวเดี๋ยวจะส่งตัวนี้ไปให้ในไลน์ก่อนแป๊บหนึ่งพี่เบรกแป๊บหนึ่งนะสักครู่ได้ถ่ายเบรกแป๊บหนึ่งเดี๋ยวมานะครับ
ฮัลโหลครับอันนี้คือเลื่อนเป็น6 โมงทุกวันเลยใช่ไหมครับ
อ่ะตัดมาที่มายังโทษที
มาแล้วครับมาแล้วครับ
All right. So we are going to discuss for this kind of topic, right? I'm going to send you. จริงๆแล้วทำอันนี้ยังไม่เสร็จนะเนี่ยแต่ไม่เป็นไรนะฮะ rush time. I think I'm going to share you for this first. ส่งไปให้แล้วนะครับ Okay, so we can start from the first question here. So some companies sponsor sports as a way to advertise themselves from people think it is good while others think there is disadvantages to this. Discuss both sides and give your own opinions here.
สปอร์ตนะครับ
ได้ไหมได้อยู่แล้วระดับนี้แล้วใช่ไหม
อันนี้อันนี้โคตรแปลกแนวนะครับบอกว่าไม่เหมือนที่ผ่านมาที่เราเคยพูดครับ
อือฮึมันเหมือนที่ผ่านมาที่เคยพูดเหรอ
ไม่เหมือนเลยครับผมไม่เคยผมไม่เคยเจออะไรแบบนี้ครับบอกว่าก็มันอ๋อคืออันนี้คือคอมบิเนชันแบบว่าพวก King Power พวกนี้เหรอครับ
ใช่
แต่ว่าเช่น
มันก็เป็นอย่างนี้กันอยู่แล้วใช่ that's correct
เดี๋ยวเราขอคิดนิดนึงครับ อันนี้อยากคิดยาวนิดนึงครับ เอ่อ like I think like as I know yeah I think that's true to like that some companies sponsor sports like football yeah like King Power supports the athletes who compete who join the competition of football. I think that's one of the benefits, and I think yeah it is true that these companies support the athletes to advertise themselves, but เขาคือผมยังงงว่าเขาสปอนเซอร์พวกกีฬาบอลเนี่ยครับคือเขาจะโฆษณาอะไรครับผมว่าผมงงตรงนี้ว่าเพราะผมไม่ดูกีฬาครับ
So for example, like sport in a way of advertise themselves. For example, like King Power, right? Support World Cup something right World Cups ก็ได้เหมือนกันอุ้ยยากอ่ะ skip ไปก่อนไหมmove
อันนี้อันนี้ผมไม่ดูบอลไม่ดูกีฬาแล้วผมก็เลยแบบ
เดี๋ยวค่อยกลับมานะค
ไม่
รับ
เข้าใจว่าเขา advertise อะไรอะครับ
So actually, like, let's say, like, for this question, I think it's all about like, it's all about effective marketing strategy that they can sponsor some kind of sport. For example, like, you can see some company may provide a free T-shirt that we're gonna have like picture of the superstar of that sport, football players, things like that. Yep. ไม่เป็นไรmove ไปครับ violence in the media promote what in society violence in the media promote อะไรอ่ะมันต้องมี promote something
I think this is very easy to answer it. I think I just disagree to promote violence or show violence in the society, but undeniably we like the media we cannot deny that media will show to the public or to the publicity that there is a violence or there is news about violence. But one of the things that I disagree with this is that we shouldn't support or promote violence to the people or to the public, because this brings a chaos to the society. And also like some teenagers or young children will follow these kind of behaviors. You know what I mean? Like it's a kind of bad role model for the young generation. Yeah.เขาหมายถึงว่าเขาจะโปรโมทอะไรครับ
promote violence in the media promote maybe promote bad thing I guess in society
อาจจะเป็นโปรโมท violence in society มากกว่านะครับน่าจะใช่ครับ
ใช่ไหมไม่ครบแน่เลยเดี๋ยวขอไปเช็คอีกทีหนึ่งข้ามครับ ข้ามได้ด้วย all right so moving to next question here most people think the truth should be objective rather than subjective when it comes to the news so do you think all news is true or what is the function of newspaper
อันนี้เขาหมายถึงอะไรนะครับแบบ objective กับ subjective ครับ
yep
เขาหมายถึงอะไรครับอันนี้ผมแปลไม่ออกจริงครับ
the truth should be objective ในที่นี้คือควรจะเป็นเดี๋ยวนะ when it comes to objective คือสำคัญถูกไหมสำคัญมากกว่าที่เป็นสำคัญรองอ่ะยิ่งงง
คือ objective คือสำคัญคือ top priority
top priorities yeah
yes absolutely this is quite true, and I think most people will agree that the truth that I think most people agree, or 99% of people will agree that the news should be released by like publicizing the truth to the society. Like, you know, the truth is always the truth, as the philosophers say, or anyone says, like and it is kind of ethics of the workers who works as a as a reporter or as a journalist, they should, yeah, absolutely, the truth it should be told to people. And would to answer the question that what is the function of a newspaper, I think I'm not sure about this, but because I'm not quite familiar with reading newspaper, because as I am a young generation, and when I watch the news, actually I've never เดี๋ยวแป๊บนึงนะครับ
ครับผม
โอเคครับมาแล้วครับ actually I've never read newspapers because that waste my money. I need to pay for it. But I think the function of the newspaper is, I think it's for elderly people. This might sound like ridiculous, but I think that's actually true, because I see most of old people, even though we have smartphones, we have laptops, we have like online news, we can watch it from YouTube or from television, but I still see most old people, they still read newspapers because they have a problem of
yep,
because like they have a problem of eye strain, you know what I mean, like they have who someone doesn't want to watch television for a long time because that brings lots and lots of health problems to their eyes. Yeah. So I think they might make a decision to buy newspapers, yeah, from a shop, from somewhere, yeah, to read. I think that's a function of it.
I see your point here. So here it's all about like maybe I can clarify again. It's all about like objective and subjective behavior. Would be like objective. There is the purpose. I hit to the point without any confounding factors. For example, like emotions or feeling add into it. Is that right? And subjective here would be like something that you agree with it or disagree with it, and then you can express your feeling or your thought about it. So here it's all about like when it comes to reporting news, right, which is really important to a society, just because we have to get some of required or essential information from the news, right? And I would say that objective is very important here, just because I think when you add some like emotions into that kind of message, so meaning that okay, sometime maybe others disagree with you, and it might cause any of conflict, or even something that you need to prevent from such a like a disagreement together. So I would say that journalists is kind of like need to be carefully to report something which is based on the real fact or objective here, just because when it comes to add something with emotions, I can say here that it might ruin some kind of like things that it might be exact way to report it. Yeah. So the function of newspaper, I can say that the function of newspaper is kind of like we cannot even deny that a newspaper have to report the truth, but sometimes it might have any I can say like some factors that force them to report in a different way. Sometimes might misleading to the truth. So this is the reason, like maybe a big influence from something. For example, like some country may not have an authority to provide or advertise or publicize any kind of the truth from a newspaper. So it's kind of like a condition. That's it. ยากจัง
แป๊บนึงนะครับ
ได้ครับ โอเค
โอเคครับมาครับ
มาเลยนะครับ
เขาน่าจะตัวกินทั้งสองประมาณถ้ากด
So more and more newspapers and news channels are using photograph and support the news articles and stories. Some people think that photographs are not a readable source of news, while others consider photographs to be irrefutable here. So discuss both sides and give your own opinion.
เออถ้าเรื่องข่าวนี้น่าจะสบายเลยเพราะว่ามีให้พูดเยอะเลยผมว่าในเมืองไทยครับ
Yep. Let's discuss about it. Wow. First of all, I think I will discuss the side or the perspective of people who claim that photographs are important and photographs are the most important factors to support the news release or to support the reporters to tell the stories of the truth and also to publicize something to the public or to people like us, like ordinary people. I think these people think like this. I think it is because photographs, like even though they say that photographs are not a readable source, but actually, it's not readable, but actually it can indicate something. What do you mean? Like it can show something abstract. You know what I mean? Like although it's not a letter, although it's not a word, we cannot read it, but we can look through these photos or photographs and we can understand more. This will clarify what the reporters say to people, like in television, for example. In television, when we watch news about violence, or when we watch news about something that is very unpleasant, like about politics, or like the prime minister, the prime minister went to somewhere that was affected by flooding. So the reporters did not only like tell us about the stories, but they showed the videos and the photographs of how damaging it was in that place, and how many deaths were there, and how many dead people were there. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of emotions that can relate or associate to people's mind, or to the audience's mind. So yeah, it's something abstract, so it's really difficult to explain. But actually, as I said, like to make it clear, to make the explanations of the reporters clearer, because if they just say something, if they just tell the stories, or I think furthermore, I think this is one of the things that is important to say as well. What I want to say is that photographs can be the evidence of, as I said, like evidence of that. Like it can be the evidence to prove that the stories that the reporters trying to tell us is the truth. Like if just imagine, like if the reporters just say that the prime minister tries to block the protesters who want to appeal for the countries in development, and the prime ministers just uses violence, and they use heavy weapons or powerful weapons to kill people. If they just tell us like this, but if there is no photographs, is that if there is no video, so there's no evidence, and this reduces the reliability or credibility of the reporters, and it decreases, as it decreases the trustworthiness of the media. So it depends on the photographs, so that's why it is important. But on the other hand, like some people still claim that photographs are not important.
Yeah, I think they might have some misconceptions, or they might not clearly understand something about using photographs. So that's why they might say that, oh, photographs are not important and it's not a readable source. People cannot read anything from it. I think these people might have a kind of viewpoint that they might listen. I think they might think that language, using language or communication is the best. Yeah, because they might think that photographs are just photographs. It stays still and เออ อันนี้ผมก็งงเลยครับว่าทำไมเขาคิดว่ามันไม่สำคัญนะรูป
อืม
มันอ่านไม่ได้แต่
yeah
มันก็คิดไม่ออกกันนะว่าทำไมคนเขาคิด
okay good thank you so much for your sharing here good to me so let me check the corrections again right so for this question, right, more and more people, more and more newspapers and news channels are using photographs to support their news articles and stories. Yeah, it's true. And some people think that the photographs are not readable source for news, while others consider photographs to be irrefutable. ก็คือต้องมีถูกไหมฮะใช่ปะ discuss both sides and give your own opinion here. I would say that in order to make sure that we can understand something, I can say that I heard that the pictures can describe lots more than a word. Is that right? So meaning that if you don't want to see or any, read lots of, sentences or even paragraphs, so you can see from the picture, it is important to do that. But sometimes like pictures is kind of like it might be a factor that attract customers or even readers to read it and try to engage with this kind of things. I can say it is important to talk about like any publication, any newspapers or news should have a picture, even a video or photograph, things like that. So it might attract people and it might easily get to be understood. So this is the reason that I would say I strongly agree that a story or even an article should be supported with photograph that is hard to be refute here. So to me, I think to those of people who did not pay attention on the photograph just because they're gonna get any detail or information based on the story that they look into it. So let's say like if you read an article which is really a matter of academic context, meaning that some kind of magazine or newspapers, they're going to have like deep analysis into it. Is that right? So it is possible that, pictures can be intervene or interrupt some kind of, the detail or information from that story. So I would say that maybe for some people that they disagree that it might not be relevant to this kind of, a topic or even issues that they are looking for or reading. That's it. ไม่รู้เหมือนกัน พอได้นะ move ครับ move ไปก่อนนะครับ the majority of news is being reported is bad news such as wars, families, accidents and crime. So why do you think that is, or do you think that news should be balanced of both good and bad news?
So if you ask about my opinion about this, like why the majority of the news is like being reported like it's bad news such as wars, or the problems in families, or the accidents and criminal crime are reported. If you ask me like this question, I think, in my opinion, I think it's a truth that the reporters should publicize to the public. What you mean by that is that if we keep releasing the good news, and if we try to, how to say, like, if you try to ignore the bad things or the bad news, and if you, because of like being considerate, or because of thinking that the people in the society will be panicked, and if we think that this is a big concern, and if we don't try to release this kind of bad news to the society, which is the truth, I think that will be a big problem in the future. Because first of all, I will give you some reasons to clarify this, and also to support the details of what is the benefit of having a majority of bad news in the society. Most people might say that, oh, this is unpleasant, and this amazingly, this might make someone depressed when they just hear some bad news from the television. Yeah, there are lots and lots of disadvantages of releasing bad news, but on the other hand, there are some advantages or benefits of releasing bad news as well. But it should be the truth. One thing that I want to give to you, one of the reasons is that if we tell the stories about the bad news to people, one thing that will happen is that they will be aware, like they will raise their awareness of keeping themselves safe in society. Like, for example, if the majority of accidents news are released, right, and then if people, and if this is the popular trend in the society, and like statistically, for example, in Thailand, statistically, accidents are the problems that happen in Thailand the most. Like, most of people, like over half of the population in Thailand, just die because of car accidents. Because of what? So we can give them a warning, so we can give them an advice that this is what's happened because people are not aware enough. People do not, because these people do not pay attention to their safety, to their life. So we can say like this to the public, so they will be aware of these dangerous things. Yeah. So I think that's why the majority of these bad news should be released. And another question is that should it be balanced, like good news and bad news? Should they be balanced? I think before I answer this question, I think we need to change the statement. We should change the question first. Like, what I mean by that is that it's no balance, and it's impossible. In my opinion, I think it's impossible to balance these good news and bad news. It depends on the situation. Like, it depends on a year. Like, in some years, if there's lots and lots of problems, that means in that year there's lots of bad news. So what I mean by that is that we cannot control the situation. Like, or if you still don't understand about this, like in 2004, like 17 years ago, there was a problem of natural disaster, like tsunami in Thailand, right? We could not control. We could not know when it happened. It just suddenly happened, and then lots and lots of people were dead. So that was the news that we shouldn't ignore to publicize to the public. That was undeniable, and then that was obligatory to release it, to tell to the public side. You know what I mean? But in some years, if there's something good, there's something pleasant that people really would love to hear. Yeah, so that's so that's it. Yeah, it depends on the situations. So I think we should change the question, how do we balance? I think we should change it from this to the question is that how can we like tell the truth as much as we can, both of good news and bad news. Yeah.
แป๊บหนึ่งนะสักครู่นะครับ
อันนี้จะไปเล่นกี่โมงอะครับ
All right. The majority of news. The majority of news. Let me check first. So the majority of news is being reported is bad news, such as wars, families, and accident and crime. So why do you think that is? And then do you think the news should be balanced of both good and bad news? Well, I think that it is possible to report something true, and it might cause some kind of like negative consequences for any kind of like reality that it should be. To me, I think that most of the news, right, that we can see from the television or being reported by the lots of channels, for example, like social media or even that on the TV show, I would say that it is possible to report something true, which is a negative consequences or occurrence that happen to the reality. But I can say that to an extent that we can gain some knowledge, even it is bad or it is like dangerous. But if it's true, I can say that. But if it is the truth, meaning that we have to acknowledge or understand what is going on with that. And I can say for the aspect of the family members, we have to, control or like, monitor the way that we have to advertise to the children or even other people that they can understand it and might not be, a factor that is lead to in the wrong direction. But I think that the accident or even crime is this kind of lesson learned. To me, I think that it is possible to report something like that. But anyway, when I perceive some information like this, which is really bad, really terrible to me, and it hit or touched my feeling at that time, right? But to me, I was raised my awareness that is lots of accident can happen anytime. So be careful is a key. So just remind that it might not be happen to me. This is what I expect to see for myself. Or even crime, let's say like I used to be a victim from a crime just because I trust someone or something easily. So this is kind of way that we have to gain some information from the news, which is really important for us to prevent from such a bad consequences that can happen from time to time. And I would say that in order to make a balance, it doesn't require to do that. But anyway, we have to present something in a positive way too, just because when we got lots of information that is very bad all the time, even it is true, it might hurt your feeling too. So to me, I would say that just report what is can be a lesson for people, and then the way that we have to present something good. For example, like the effective of vaccine, we have to present it too, just because everyone have to get some kind of like required information or even things that they're gonna get better. That's it.ก็ move ไปเลยแล้วกันนะฮะมาฮะพร้อมยัง In the last few decades, there have been more and more cases of famous people in the media being harmed by the press, being intervened or, penetrate their privacy, things like that. Some people think that famous people in the media have no right privacy here. Is that okay? To what extent do you agree?
As I write this statement, I think I really strongly, I strongly disagree that people say that only famous people or celebrities have no right to have their own privacy, and if they are harassed by, or if they are wounded by the press or by the media, that's the correct thing that we can accept. But I don't think like that, and I think this is unacceptable to follow this kind of statement, to follow this kind of mindset. Like, one of the things is that, like, as we know that every humans have their own rights. So, like, in the laws, in the Constitution, it is written that everyone has their own rights of privacy. Everyone has their own rights to express their opinion. So that means, and I think this is kind of inequality in the society, if we say that only famous people have no privacy because because their career is a job, is a duty to show the emotions, to show your abilities to the public. And also, these famous people should be responsible for showing something to the public, you know what I mean? And but this is kind of excuses to say that that means that they have no privacy. I don't think that this is the acceptable one. Yeah, so I really disagree. And also, famous people are humans as well. They have the right to have their own privacy like us. It's not like, and I think this is, I don't know that this is kind of discrimination or not, but I think, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, actually, this is absolutely inequality in the society, and this kind of perspective shouldn't be acceptable in this society. Yeah.
Good. Nice to hear from you. So for this question, well, I think that it is important to say something about privacy, and I do believe that everyone have their own privacy, just because everyone have to have the private life a bit. And to me, as personally, I would say that I'm having a privacy zone too. But for this question, I might say that people who really want to get to be famous, or even like get in, so once they become to be celebrities, so lots of followers or even people are watching them. Is that right? And this is kind of thing that we have to talk about the business, just because if someone did something wrong and might get something, for example, I can see that this is kind of like strategic planning for the celebrity, that they can do something wrong just because they want to get the popularity in terms of media or television, and they can get some money from that. So, but I think that for private life, for example, like what they do, all right, what they will do, or even like what they're gonna have some kind of like secret issues, for example, like in terms of a couple or relationships. This is kind of like it's all about privacy. But anyway, if you have to, I would say that those celebrity have to acknowledge the way that they have to be to be seen from others. So let's say like the privacy might not be as a privacy at all, just because you're gonna get some attention from others. So meaning that if you are entering into the entertainment business and you become a famous superstar, things like that, you might not be able to, to request any kind of privacy just because lots of people are watching you. And to me, I think that the right of a person to get, a level of privacy would be like a normal people. But I would say that it's kind of like respect or even respectful to others, meaning that if we can, I would say that if you behave properly, you might be able to, you don't have to conceal what is kind of like secret thing from others, right? Just because it is the truth. But I do believe that no one even never made any mistakes or even did something wrong in their life, right? So this is the meaning that this is kind of privacy have to take into consideration here. Yep. ประมาณนั้นนะครับก็ต้องนะฟิลนั้น okay, that's it. Moving to next question here. People in limelight have a responsibility to set an example for others by their good and behaviors. So do you agree with this?
Yeah, I really agree, because like it's really logical and reasonable that adults or famous people should show their good behaviors, and they should be they should be a good role model to people or to the audiences, to the followers they have. And that's a kind of good thing that they should do. Absolutely. But additionally, what I want to say for more details is that it's not only like people in the limelight or people that are very popular in the society or in the society, like normal people like us, the people that don't have any followers and should also follow these good behaviors, and they should share this kind of good thing to other people as well. Yeah, I think this is the responsibility that everyone in this world, every human, every living things should follow, and everyone should show the respect to every people, even though they are without realizing the ages, without having bias based on different sex, different races. Yeah. So that's one of the moral and thing, and that's the ethics that every people should follow. And this is the rules of living in the society peacefully.
All right. So. Done. Right. That's it. So for this question, right? Question number 7. People in the limelight have a responsibility to set an example for others by their good behavior. Well, I think I do agree with this kind of statement, just because limelight, meaning that they are famous or even they are celebrities, right? So when it comes to talk about the people in a celebrity, so in reality, we can say that those people who really famous or become into the limelight, they're gonna have like a party time, like the way that they live is just kind of like leading to for more misbehavior instead of the good things. Is that right? So we can say like that. And anyway, I would say that it's all about like a personality trait or even like a deep insight that they can do it. It doesn't mean that they're going to show off something, but it's all about like a group of people who become to the entertainment industry here. And I would say that limelight is just kind of like lots of people may respect them. So meaning that they're going to have to behave properly with a good trait or any personality that can be, influence lots of people there. For example, like I can see that if some of superstar do the good things, right? For example, like charity, or even like giving some donations to others during a COVID time, right? So this is kind of like the good trait, just because when comparing for individuals or even like ordinary guys or people who cannot even provide something to others, so it is important that those people need to responsible for that, just because we live we live in a life in the same society, so those people may have a different social status, expectation, or even preferences. But to those people who really work on and they staying in the limelight, I think it is important to express themselves in a good behavior. Next. จบไหมในวันนี้น่าจะจบนะ Okay. With the development of media, right, online, there is no future for the radio. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, absolutely, and I will definitely agree with this, because like we can infer from the reality, like from this generation, as we see the reality, like currently it's almost impossible to see people are trying to get the news, or to get something about the news from radio. That's really difficult to see these kind of people, except like people that are elderly or aging people. These people might use the radio to receive news, because they might not have an ability to use social media. So I would say that they don't understand clearly. But in the future, these people will absolutely die, and the younger generations will be raised more and more and more. More population will be young people, will be teenagers, will be like us. So these people will be familiar with the media online, with the social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, because these online news are widespread, nationwide, and these media, these online media or social media are used by a variety of people, or like all over the world. Yeah, so absolutely, I think there is no place for the radio to develop in the future anymore. Yeah, so I would say that it is outdated already. It will be like it will be the history.
กำลังอ่านเรื่องไอ้นั้นอยู่emergency room สระว่ายน้ำที่สะท้อนความอาชีพครูตลกมากเลยแต่ว่าช่างมันเถอะก็เป็นการ reflections, a little bit reflections here. Okay, good. So for this question, right, question number 8, with the development of the media online, there is no future for the radio. Yes, I do agree with this statement, just because we have to accept the reality that radio has been eradicated, I can say, and completely no one used listen to it. Even we can say that so for a part of like while driving a car, right, so you can turn on the radio, but it's kind of like it changed to be a little bit more complicated than just only radio. And I think that those people who have their own car, they're going to have like a Bluetooth or hotspot they can link into that car, right, meaning that we can perceive receive some information from the media online instead of the radio. So this is the reason that the radio is completely disappear from this world. And I would say that the progress and the development of media online, it might be a key factor, just because it attracts lots of people, or even provide some interesting information, or even high quality media, or even pictures from the online. So I completely support that it is possible that it might be disappear from this world, but I would say that we have to change ourselves to to see or even receive some information from the different channel of media. That is the reason that we have to adapt ourselves to be better. That's it. ก้าวหายนะครับก็ก้าวหายได้ยังไงนะฮะเบลอแน่เลยมาอีกสักข้อหนึ่งดีกว่า media and advertisement here. Some people believe that what children watch on television influences their behavior. Others say that amount of time spent watching television influences their behaviors. Discuss both views and give your own perspectives here.
This depends on each people. The meaning is that what I mean, like it's up to children. It depends on each children, because every children, they are raised and they have different upbringing. I mean, they have been raised by different parents, by different people who have different perspectives of raising their own children. Like, for example, for some families, they have time to spend with their children. So what I mean is that when their children watch the television, their parents will monitor them. They will sit next to them and they just try to explain that what is good to follow, what is bad to not follow, and what is the good role model to follow, which will be the good behavior for themselves, and that is good for themselves to show respect to people in the society, how to live in society peacefully. But for some families, they don't have enough time to spend with their family, so that means that their dad and their mom just leave their own children at home. They just leave them to do anything they want, to enjoy watching television, and they might randomly choose the channels to watch on television. And unfortunately, if they watch something unpleasant, such as violence or the bad news or about the politics, they actually, if the people whose age is like under 12 or under 13, these people should not watch something like this, because they still cannot understand about it clearly. They still don't realize they are not cognizant about the bad behaviors that are, or the bad behaviors that are showing to them, or so something that is very abstract. So they cannot use the reasons, they cannot use their own logics to interpret what they are seeing right now, or at that time, and that bad news might influence the behavior. For example, if there is a release of news about violence, and if there is a video of people killing someone, or if there is a word, like a bad word, or the word that is, I would say, if some people say something vulgar, that might influence children to follow as well. Yeah, as I said, like we can guarantee that news are the bad things, and news should be banned for publicizing to children. We cannot say like this, because it's not every cases, and this case that children will follow cannot happen for every cases. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it depends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It depends, right? It depends, and it depends. That's it. All right. So for this question, right? I can say. Let me check first. All right, so for question number 10 here, some people believe that what children watch on television influences their behavior. Others say that the amount of time spending watching television influences their behavior too. So discuss both views and give your own opinion here. I would say that I agree that lots of amount of time, I mean, a number of time, I mean, lots of time that children spend on television can influence their behavior in both positive and negative way. For example, like if the student play a game, right? And I would say that you know, a game or any kind of television that they spend with, if it is you know, prove their critical thinking or even IQ or IQ for their brains, it might be a positive aspect to spend time with this kind of like you know, television or even games, right? But anyway, we can see that students may behave inappropriately with a strong rude words or even like kind of aggressive behavior from you know, imitating some kind of like action movie from with others that is hard to see in the reality. So meaning that this is kind of thing that can be influenced for the first begin. But right now I can say that lots of students might not be familiar with this kind of television. So I would say that maybe game I mean, they can be a group of students who you know, addicted from games or just playing games with lots of time, things like that. And I would say that I do agree that this is kind of thing might be an influence to you know, reflect this you know, student behavior here. But I would say I can say that maybe more factors can contribute their behavior too. For example, like if they live in the maybe a tough I can say a family that they're gonna have a conflict or even they didn't have even things that they need to have, for example, like financial problems or even like lack of warm family, things like that. So meaning that this is kind of thing might influence their behavior too, not just only you know, spending time with television here. That's all. หายไปหรือยัง โอเคไหมฮะ move next next one, companies spend millions each year on advertising online in magazines and billboards. These adverbs can encourage people to buy goods and they do not really need. What are the positive and negative effects of consumerism here?
แมกกาซีนอันนี้มันดูย้อนแย้งอะเพราะว่าถ้าคนไม่ต้องเพราะว่าตามหลักเศรษฐศาสตร์คนต้องการซื้อ แต่ว่าเพราะว่าแมกกาซีนพวก advertising ออนไลน์นี่มันต้องแบบมันต้อง convincing จริงๆอ่ะ
Yep.
นี่เราคิดกันหรอว่าI think I can think of some examples. I don't know this is the reason that I can use to explain or not, but I'll try to explain that.
Yep.
This like in the statement as it is said that companies spend millions each year on advertising online, and this encourage people or this convinces people to buy goods that they do not really need. They really do not require those goods that are not or unnecessary for their life. Like I think I can give you some for examples like Coca-Cola. Yeah, as Coca-Cola, it's it is a product. It is a good. It is a product that is our like I would say the advertisement of Coca-Cola, it's argued by many doctors or many many experts about health, because they say that Coca-Cola or Coke or Pepsi is a product that harms people's health, and this contributes to health problems such as obesity. This increases the rate of people getting ill because of having lots and lots of body fats, and they suffer hypertension, heart diseases, or heart attack, and more and more people need to go to the hospital to get to be under the treatments because of this product. And this is the risk of the population. But actually, this is, even though people realize that it is bad for their health, but it is very, very contradictory that even though they realize that this is bad, but why? But there is still a question that why they still keep buying these products, why they still keep being addicted to drinking these beverages that are dangerous for their health. And yeah, so to easily answer this question is that like, I think it's kind of marketing strategy, like or the CEO or the executives who try to manage how to advertise the product, is that, like, for example, on the television, when they advertise about Coca-Cola or Coke, they're trying to advertise by splashing the liquid, splashing the liquid, and they try, and they just show some people drinking it, and they show the emotions of drinking it, is that they're showing the emotions of happiness when they drink it. They show the emotions of, like, drinking it with alongside with food, with delicious food. I think that that might be something normal, and people might ignore that thing, but actually that is a secret of the marketing strategy. That is a secret of the people who try to convince you to buy their products. Like, for another example, when you are hungry, if you feel like you are hungry, and if you are on a diet, and if you just stumble seeing over the television or on social media, if you just say, I mean, if you just unintentionally say that videos of advertising, and if you are still hungry, if you are still thirsty as well, you might, that will activate your mind, that will that will associate with your current emotion. Yeah. And you will immediately go to 7-Eleven or convenience stores to buy it and just drink it without realizing about its consequences that will come after in the future.
That's it. เริ่มเหนื่อยแล้วเนี่ยพูดเยอะมากใช้สมองเหมือนกันนะเนี่ย แป๊บหนึ่งครับ so I would say beyond expectation นะครับ all right, so for this question, right, I'm going to say that the companies spend millions each year on advertising online in magazines and billboards, encourage people to buy goods and do not really need. That's true. So yeah, for me, I would say that it can contribute a positive aspect for to people too, just because it's kind of like they can advertise their products to those people who really interest in their product or a change of product from a company, or even they're gonna have like things that they can feel it for their expectation through buying this kind of product from the company. Yeah. So the advertisement is kind of like an effective marketing strategy that you mentioned earlier. I can say that it's all about like the way that people can buy something just because they can have a trust with what they see, what they perceive from this kind of thing. Even it's not that serve the expectation, but I would say that this is kind of thing that they can, feel free to buy or follow it just because it serves for the spiritual fulfillment here. And I can see that lots of people may buy something that and it can be unnecessary things, right? But they just buy things because of the trust in this kind of thing. That's it. So to me, it can be positive and negative here, but for consumerism, to those people who I would say that to those people who don't have much money, they can't even buy something that can fulfill their expectation in this way. But to me, there's only those who got something from from this thing already. I mean, for some products, right? It's for just only for targeted consumers, or even like the expected audiences here, right? So meaning that it doesn't serve to everyone. So to me, I think it might cause some negative effect to those people who are running out of money, but they have to buy something just because they believe in it. So this kind of thing that it depends on their perception or even their thinking, their decision making, in order to make sure that they can follow this trend or don't want to follow it. So I can say that it depends on customer satisfaction too. It doesn't serve to them for what they need to do, but it's a kind of like it might fulfill for another aspect. That's it. อีกข้อหนึ่งแล้วกันนะครับแล้วก็ปิดจ็อบไปเลยนะ All right, for this question, right, one of the prime time of advertising on TV is when the children get back from school. Some people think that advertisement aimed at children should not be allowed. So what is your opinion here?
Yeah. อย่างนี้ก็มีด้วยเหรอครับ คือประเด็นคือเขาบอกว่า advertise คือถ้าจะโฆษณาชักชวนเด็กครับคืออันนี้คือมันเป็นโฆษณาอะไรเพราะว่าโฆษณามันมีหลายอย่างที่เขาบอกว่ามันไม่ควร allow นะครับบางทีแบบมันต้องมันไม่เคลียร์ครับว่ามันเป็นโฆษณาประเภทไหนอะถ้าเป็นประเทศที่มันไม่ดีที่ว่า
Smoking, let's say smoking, or even like อะไรบ้างอะไม่รู้เหมือนกัน sex toy อย่างเงี้ยเหรอI'm not sure.
So like I will just imagine that if there is an advertisement of like cigarettes, selling cigarettes or weed, even though it is a drug. Previously it was illegal in Thailand, but right now it is legal. Even though it is legal, but actually the advertisement of these products shouldn't be allowed to aim at children anyway, because children are still children. They cannot realize what is good, what is bad for themselves. they still don't I would say they haven't experienced the problems in life. They haven't experienced things that in life before. I would say they don't have enough knowledge about living in the world, like how to live in the real society, you know, like in the big community. So if these kind of advertisements just aims at all the children, that's that's unacceptable. One of the things that like for example, if we promote children to smoke, if we promote them to buy cigarettes, if we allow them to buy like beers, or to buy alcohol to drink, you know, these things are actually not allowed for children, absolutely. And even though you are an adult, you shouldn't consume these products in a way, because this brings lots and lots of health problems. And if you keep doing that, that means you like in the moral way, in the Buddhism, like it's like you're trying to break the rules, you're trying to break the fifth principle of um not drinking alcohol, you know. But so that's one of the things that is really deeply abstract. Okay, just ignore that. But yeah, actually children are still not allowed to consume these products. Yeah, and I really agree that this kind of advertisement shouldn't be allowed to aim at children. But additionally, it's not all of the products that shouldn't be advertised for children. There are lots and lots of there are also lots and lots of products that can be advertised to children. There are lots and lots of products that can be offered to children to consume, like vegetables, I would say, like vegetables or healthy food. Yeah, you know, like healthy food, like oatmeals or milk. Yeah, milk is also good for children, and we cannot deny, we cannot argue, we cannot refuse that um, milk is that we cannot deny that milk is important for young children, because like in the scientific reports, and the scientists guarantees that milk can remodel their bones when they break it. What I mean by that is not like the injury. Like what I mean by that is that when they do an exercise, when they go to play sports, when they do some activities that are heavy, or when they use their body enough. So that means like they will the cells, yeah, I would say that the cells of the bones will be broken. So that's a good thing. When they consume milk, like it is a calcium, it will build their bones to be stronger. The bones will be not even thicker, but it will be they will get taller. And also this promotes the growth spurts as well, like in this age, because it's um it's the important age that every parents should pay attention to their children, because the age of growing themselves, of growing their mind, growing their life, growing their body. Yeah. Or another example is like um is football. Yeah, like the equipment of doing an exercise. Yeah, like we can promote to them like, oh, this football is good for you, like, and they will buy it and yeah, use it for an exercise. Yeah, there are lots and lots of examples, countless examples. I cannot explain all of them.
Get back from school อืมก็เหมือนที่เราพูดไป so for me I think that is it possible to limit some kind of advertisement that might be, happen for negative consequences toward student behavior, especially for toddler or primary students? Just because I would say that it's very important to see, like how well they can perceive something in the right direction. I mean, I do believe that giving some kind of instruction with a good behavior is a key for students to raise them up in the positive way, just because we need a good person in life. But anyway, we have to talk about the reality that happen for both positive and negative. That is, remind them that they're going to have like a life in reality, which is possible to be good or bad. This is a kind of like we have to put them in the right way of become successful. So to me, I can say advertisement aims at children, it would be like it's not about a product, right? But the storyline that they can advertise might be lots of more or various kind of thing that we have to see and evaluate again. But I can say that for the regulation of advertisement, is kind of like they're going to have a policy that should be restricted or even banned from something or not, right? Let's say like if it's something that is related to sexual harassment, sexual things like that. So I think it should be banned a bit just because it's not safe for this, the student. But anyway, this kind of thing that cannot be controlled much just because students can learn by themselves. It doesn't, reflect that the bad advertisement can affect children behavior. Yeah, that's it นะ clear 2 ทุ่มเป๊ะพอดีอะ timing ได้ดีมาก อันนี้ไปตอบพรุ่งนี้แล้วกันนะครับ ปิดจ็อบเลยนะ เหนื่อยละโอเค Are you okay โอเคครับ สวัสดีครับ บ๊ายบายครับ